How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I actually wanted to talk about something that's actually kind of interesting, and hopefully you guys will find it interesting as well, because I definitely did when I was researching all this stuff, so hopefully you do as well. But basically today we're going to be talking about useful PvM items, or items that you can use while bossing that people don't really use that much, or maybe some of them are very sort of specific to certain places, but they are very useful. So it's definitely something that I thought would make a pretty decent and interesting video. So we're going to go over some of those items in this video, and I will be talking about uses that they have. And yeah, hopefully by the end of this, maybe some of you guys will be changing your presets to add a little bit here and there. And hopefully if you do, that those items that you do add will be helping you out quite a lot. Anyway, if you enjoy the video, of course, as always, make sure to leave a like on the video. You guys have been giving some insane support recently. So if you want to keep going with that, then make sure to leave another like on this video as well. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe as well. And for you guys that watch literally every single video, there is also a join button by the subscribe button if you are interested in getting some perks while supporting the channel as well. Anyway, 1 minute for the intro isn't too bad, I suppose. So let's jump into this video. We're going to start talking about them. I'm not going to make like a big list out of this probably. Probably going to be talking about them and going through it fairly sort of casually. So hopefully you enjoy that sort of video. I really don't want to make it into like a big massive list, like number 1 is this, number 2 is this. So with that in mind, let's just get going. Okay, so have you ever thought that maybe there was something in the game that you wish you could just tank a lot more than you actually do, and feel like this would be very useful if there was something that could reduce damage by a hell of a lot? Well, there is, and to be honest, the only really situation that I would use this in at the moment is at Telos for the so much power. If you completely screw up, this item is basically something to fall back on if you literally make the biggest mistakes and you don't want to like land on your ass. You just want to whip this out, and it can basically help you tank a lot of damage. And this is of course going to be one of the spirit shields. Now the spirit shields will basically reduce damage that you take, and rather than take it from your health, they will take it from your prayer points. Now this is really useful if you are, say, at Telos with so much power and your resonance is on cooldown. Maybe you're like me and you're really lazy and don't have the disruption shield ability, which to be honest I really need to go and get, so I will work on that at some point. But if you don't have that and you've screwed up, you can basically just chuck on this shield and just eat to full health and drink some prayer potions, and hell, that tanks a lot of damage. Then of course you're going to need to probably drink some more prayer potions afterwards, but hey, this is a really cool item, and to be honest guys, with God Wars Dungeon 3 coming up, you never know, this might be really useful there. So keep that in mind, because if there's something that has a really big hit that you want to tank, then maybe it's going to be worth taking one of these while you're learning the new bosses, while people are trying to figure out the mechanics and stuff, because you may be one of the first people to get through if you've got something extra to tank with. Anyway, the spirit shield can pretty much just help you tank a massive big hit, reducing damage and just making you effectively have a hell of a lot more HP pool, as your prayer points in a simple way get turned into health points. Moving on to the next item, actually, you guys are probably already thinking like, but in it, you don't need to use a spirit shield anymore. There's better things than that. There's the vitality potion. Okay guys, yes, there's a vitality potion in the game. That is going to be the item that I'm going to mention now. And to be fair, this really probably has the very similar use to the spirit shield. However, I think the spirit shield could be maybe more useful if you're going to be using it long term, possibly. I don't know, but basically at the moment we're talking about the vitality potion, and it works very similar to how I explained with the spirit shield. You can use it in situations like at so much power. If you want to tank something, basically if something big is going to come and smack you right in the face and you're not ready for it, you screwed up a mechanic and you didn't do anything to reduce the damage or block it, then you can just down one of these potions and it will double your health instantly, like straight away. I used this the other day to get into a trio Virago kill, and it wasn't a kill, it was a kill on us 3. It wasn't really good, but we got in. I just waited to record some footage, and this is what we used to get in with 3 people. So you can use it to basically double your health for a certain amount of time, and this can be incredibly useful. Like I said, again, this example is going to come up probably a few times. Telos with the so much power hit, when you're on higher in rage, that can literally hit over 10k. So if you aren't ready for it, you can eat up to full health, you can down one of these potions, and when he throws that at you, you will drop probably pretty low, but it won't take away all of your health. So it's absolutely useful to use, and I'm sure there's going to be more situations coming up very soon for us to use it. But to be honest, it's probably quite a decent item to add to some of your presets. If you find yourself doing a boss where you tend to take a big hit of damage, then you could definitely use it there to help yourself out. So maybe at next on the ice prison, people might be able to down one of those doses there, so you don't get insta killed there if you can't sort of quickly do the mechanic every single time. But basically think of this as an item that you can fall back on again when you really need a big boost of health to be able to tank something that you're not ready for the mechanic. Definitely something that you would put in your inventory just as a failsafe. But I have one of these in my Telos presets because quite often, sometimes I screw up this so much power, and having this bad boy, it definitely helps out. To be honest, so far, these items are quite well leading into each other. It's actually going kind of pretty well. So the next item that I'm actually wanting to talk about leads straight on from these. The Power Burst of Vitality was the last one. I think I might have said Vitality Potion, but it was the Power Burst of Vitality. So for any of you guys wondering, that is what that was. But at the moment now, we're going to be talking about another Power Burst Potion. So which one is it? Well, it's the Power Burst of Acceleration. This item is very, 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 very specific in the places you can use it, and honestly I actually kind of use it only in one place, and even then I've only just started using it, so you guys probably haven't even seen me use it, but I use it at Elite Dungeons sometimes. So I will have this in my preset and I will use it at places like ED1 when there's a big long bit where you've got to surge around the big area and there's just not really much to do, so it just saves time on that. And also on ED3, basically anywhere that there's a long sort of area that you want to clear very, very quickly, you want to just basically travel from point A to point B very fast. This is something you can do. What it does is once you've used Surge, if you down one of these potions, it instantly resets the cooldown of Surge and Bladed Dive. So you can Surge, Bladed Dive, drink one of these, and then you can use Surge and Bladed Dive again, of course. But not only that, it also reduces the cooldown of it to 1.2 seconds over the next 6 seconds. So it basically allows you to spam Surge and Bladed Dive a hell of a lot more, and it just lets you get from point A to point B ridiculously fast. So it's basically just a little bit of a time saver when I'm trying to run Elite Dungeons. It really doesn't make that much difference, but you never know. In the near future, we may have a point where it becomes really, really useful. So one, it's awesome to sort of refresh our memory on items like this, because you never know what's coming in God Wars 3. But also two, if you guys are trying to speedrun your Elite Dungeons and stuff, then hey, you can definitely try and pick one of these up if you don't need the food space and fly down those corridors. How many items is that so far? 3? Okay, maybe we can get another few in here. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can find. The next one is going to be Mechanization Chompers. Now, a lot of you guys probably, let's be honest, most of you guys listening will know exactly what Chompers are, and I'm sure most of you will probably use Mechanization Chompers. However, I know there's plenty of people who don't use them, and I know there's plenty of people who be running Elite Dungeons, and maybe they're using things like magic. Maybe you're running Elite Dungeon with magic, and you're thinking, is it better to use range? Then, hey, you know what? The Mechanization Chompers are insanely good at Elite Dungeons, and if you are using range at the Elite Dungeons and not using Mechanization Chompers, then what the frick are you doing? It makes it so much faster. So Mechanization Chompers are incredibly good for killing off any sort of grouped up monsters, any mobs that are like really, really packed together, which happens quite a lot in the Elite Dungeons. But not only that, you can also use it in other situations as well. If you want to chuck on Mechanization Chompers when you're using ranged and use a stun, it will make that stun as an AoE, or like maybe if you use tight bindings, it will root all those monsters together. So maybe these could be useful at Telos as well for when people are ranging Telos. I'm sure some people who do range Telos will be able to tell me in the comments below. Do you use these when you're trying to control the golems? Because I obviously don't use range at Telos. I'm not that good at Telos, but I'm sure there's plenty of people that do, and to be honest, I could absolutely see them being useful at that point. But Mechanization Chompers are incredibly good for killing off big mobs of monsters all in one go. It makes it a lot easier. All of your attacks are turned into big AoE things. It is absolutely OP in certain situations. But like I said, the main place that I would probably say you would use it is running Elite Dungeons, killing off those, getting through the doors very, very quickly. And I'm fairly sure a lot of you guys use it at AOD to get stack damage on the minions when they are sort of gathered up all together in the middle. So it's definitely something that you guys may want to keep in mind if you are doing Elite Dungeons. Add them on if you're using range. And if you're using magic, maybe you should consider trying to use range or melee. Obviously, melee has good AoE damage anyway, but using range, if you use magic and you're sort of thinking, maybe I'll try range, don't forget to bring your Mechanization Chompers with you. But again, we don't know what God Wars 3 is going to be bringing. There may be something in there like a mechanic where these are incredibly useful. So just keep that in mind for, to be honest, any point in the future. If you see anything that could be used for AoE damage and could be useful there, then these are the place that you want to go. Alright, this one's a little bit more specific and kind of only has one use in my opinion, but it's really useful. And in all honesty, this might be one that not a lot of people, especially people who are starting out on the place that I recommend this is going to be used for, may not have it. And in all honesty as well, I don't have this. I'm way too lazy to get this. I really need to go and get it, and I'm probably going to have to do that now after I've mentioned this in the video. But this is going to be the Salve Amulet E. Now, basically what this does is it will give you 20% increased accuracy and damage versus undead monsters. Now, you may be thinking, alright, okay, that sounds pretty cool. 20% damage and accuracy versus undead. That sounds really, really cool. Where would I be able to use that, though? Okay, ED3. ED3 is absolutely brilliant for this. The second boss, the Necromancer, he counts as undead. So if you equip this there, hell can you do some damage on that boss. I do not have it, and it definitely makes a difference to my kill times. If I get it, it will be obviously a lot better, but I will probably go out and get it at some point. But the Salve Amulet E is so good against this boss, and in all honesty, if you are planning on running Elite Dungeons 3 very, very consistently and you want to solo it, I would highly recommend that you do go and get this. To get it, you do have to go and do the Haunted Mine quest, and you have to do the Lair of Tarn Razalor mini quest. I'm not gonna lie, I read that name from the wiki, and hell, that is freaking hard to pronounce. But yeah, the Lair of Tarn Razalor mini quest as well. Once you've done those, you'll be able to get the Salve Amulet E. And you do that by taking the Tarn Razalor Tarn's diary and using that on the amulet, apparently. So that is, hey, we both learned something at this point if you didn't already know. But I'm sure a lot of you guys watching again have probably already known this one. But for you guys that didn't, this is definitely worth using. It will help you out a lot for anywhere that will be incredibly useful against the undead. And like I say, if you're planning on doing ED3, you definitely want to have this. It is so good. Alright, so I think we can maybe fit another couple of items into this, and one of them is going to be something that really doesn't have that much effect during PvM, but is something you would only really use during PvM. So it's going to be the Adrenaline Urn. I use this quite a lot. A lot of you guys probably have seen me using this at certain bosses when I am probably going to be AFK waiting for people a little bit and I just can't bother stalling adrenaline. What it does is you can charge it up to 1000% adrenaline, and you would do this literally just by having it in your inventory and charging up from one of the adrenaline crystals at Walls Retreat. Now what this will do is you don't have to stall adrenaline. Basically, whenever you're going to lose adrenaline, you will lose it from the urn first, and as you can imagine, 1000% does take a little while to go through. So this is definitely sort of a convenience item, but I cannot tell you the amount of times that I have gone to maybe do Ambassador, for example, and you've got to go through loading in, you've got to wait for people, you've got to teleport to the chest, and I probably forget so many times just to remember to stall my adrenaline. And if I'd had this, then I wouldn't have had to bank all those freaking times. But I have added this to a lot of my presets now, and it's just a lot of a stress saver. Like, you can just chill out, you can just wait, and even though there is something on archaeology that you can have this with one of the perks, if you have this, you can maybe just remove that and have something else on there. You can have another perk in that slot instead. But hey, it's definitely something that is maybe worth considering. You can get this as a drop. Actually, I probably should tell you where you can get it from. You can get it from the Calgarian Demons. They will drop it as a rare drop, so it does take a little while to go and farm it, but if you do get one, it's absolutely worth getting. I actually got mine from a Halloween event a little while ago. I don't remember which one it was, but maybe you guys should just have a quick search in your bank. Maybe you already have one. Who knows? And if you do and don't know about it, then you're absolutely welcome. There you go. Alright, this last one is absolutely something that I think a lot of you guys probably don't use, and I know that a lot of you probably have probably thought about it, probably seen it, and have probably thought, you know, maybe is that worth doing? So I'm here to tell you that, in my opinion, hell yes, these are worth using, and some people are probably going to tell me, nope, they're absolutely not worth using. But Adrenaline Renewals. I use Adrenaline Renewals all the time. They're super expensive, I will tell you that straight away. These are not cheap, but they are so damn good. What these do compared to normal adrenaline potions is, rather than just give you a little burst of like 30% adrenaline, they will give you 40% adrenaline over 6 seconds. Now, that maybe seems like, you know, well, why wouldn't I want the burst straight away? You don't. You want to get more adrenaline out of it, believe me. It is so freaking good, and it fills up really, really quickly, so you can use your thresholds and stuff very fast anyway. So Adrenaline Renewals are absolutely incredible. When I started using them, I noticed a massive difference in my kill times at a lot of bosses. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who have even faster kill times without them, but that is beyond the point. If you guys are getting really fast kills without them, and then you start using them, just imagine you could even get even faster with them. They're incredibly useful. I originally told myself that I would probably only use them for places like Telos, and then it turned out that I just used them absolutely everywhere. So I guess they're also addicting as well. There's definitely something about them that makes you want to use them everywhere. So I would highly recommend that you guys at least try them out, because once you use them, you'll probably decide that, you know what, I'm going to stick to these. They actually cost quite a lot to make. Like I said, I believe it is something around about like 120 to 130k. I could be slightly wrong, or the prices could have changed from when I did it, but yeah, they're definitely something worth using. And for you guys that may be thinking, for God's sake, I don't have that 115 herb lore that I need to be able to make these, well, don't worry, these potions are assistable. You can find someone who has a nice high herb lore level, and also not only that, they will get a little bit of experience from you doing it on them as well. You will not get the experience from making them if you get assisted, but the person who assists you will get the experience. So win-win for everybody. But to be honest, I actually need to find someone to come in there, let me make some more of these with them. So I'll be hitting up my guy pretty soon. Anyway, that's going to be it, guys. That's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you found something out of this that you didn't really know about. Maybe you knew about most of them, or I've reminded you about some of them as well. Let me know in the comments. Did you find anything? Did you learn anything? Did you know all of them and you just freaking know everything in the game? Let me know, because there's so many people of you that just know this game inside out. So let me know in the comments if there's anything else that I missed, any other stuff that may be useful, and if there is something like a big list of stuff that isn't included here, I may even pin that for people who are looking as well. Anyway, again, as always, I really appreciate you all watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like on the video. It'll get suggested to other people that way as well. And of course, if you did enjoy it and you are new here as well, then consider subscribing to the channel too. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.